A very pleasant good afternoon as we welcome you into another edition of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead Show. We are coming to you from Quaker Steak and Lube, our favorite place to be, and our home away from home on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we get ready for another busy little weekend in the world of sports. And, the beloved Buccos at St. Louis, finishing up that series here this afternoon, 1-1 as we go on the air here in the bottom of the third. Pirates looking to take that series after getting swept by the Phillies over the weekend.
What happened? Come on. It's just a 3-game series. It was a fun time.
It was just a 3-game series.
It was a fun time. They came back a little bit. And don't worry. The Phillies have fallen back to earth right now. I don't know what's going on. Schwarber hasn't played in 3 days. I heard he got a little bit of sickness going on. Harper was out. They're DHing guys here and there. Garcia, the guy playing right field, the guy who plays Castellanos. By the way, you know me. I'm not a Castellanos guy. Castellanos could hit in certain situations. Garcia is a little something to be, wish there's a little more to his offensive game. But I got to say this. Defensively, what an upgrade. And the fact that I am not lying to you, I've literally seen him bat 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 8 and 9. They just rolling this guy around. They're trying to figure out where he's best fit in the lineup. But, that's tough to do as a major leaguer, but he's getting through it. So I just can't imagine, baby boy Castellanos, how upset he'd be knowing how he was. So good riddance, sir. Good riddance to the Mr. Castellanos.
Well, there you have it.
So I got a question. I'm up here watching the Busch Stadium and stuff like that, the new Busch Stadium. And I got thinking, Ironhead. I don't. What is the Ironhead? What is your stadium viewership? I went to Pittsburgh last year or whatever. Where have you been in your lifetime? I mean, how many stadiums?
Baseball stadiums? Yeah. Not that many. I have a buddy of mine that was. I don't know where he's at now, but he is. At least at one point, I have to ask. I'm not sure if he's still in pursuit of it, but he was trying to get to every major league stadium. The one summer, he got to like 8 of them, 8 or 9 in the one summer. I'm trying to think. I've not been to that many.
You ever been to Busch?
Pittsburgh and Philly. Busch? I have been to Busch.
The new Busch.
I have been to Yankee Stadium.
New World.
And I've been to Camden. And I've been to Cleveland. And that might be about it. I went to Fenway Park.
I was going to say that.
But we did not get to see a game there.
I did that Wrigley.
It got rained out. So we did get into the stadium. We were in the seats, the downpour. We had a great time in and around Fenway Park. But so I was at the stadium but did not see a pitch there. And
gotcha.
I've been in a couple of other stadiums, Wrigley. I'm trying to think if we were scheduled to go to Comiskey, and I feel like I ended up not. I don't know if something came up. For some reason, I don't think I ever got to Comiskey. Definitely never saw a game there.
The old Comiskey.
And I think that is probably about it.
So as far west as you're going is St. Louis.
That I've seen a game. Yep.
What about you? My Wrigley experience was much like your Fenway, but it wasn't a rain out. It was a it was a boozed in. Yeah, we went out to Chicago like 5 years ago. Carrie and I had a lot of friends out there. Johnny Cangelosi actually is one of them. Former Pirate, Detroit, and he was a White Sox So he lives in Chicago, so we're out there visiting our friends. So we all went to Chicago White Sox on like a Thursday or a Friday, and I had a great time. Just an unbelievable day. Saturday, or may have been a Friday or Saturday the next day. Then the day after, we all went out to Wrigley, and we didn't have tickets. We were like, we'll just scalp them and this and that. And I was amazed. Now this is in the last 4 years, so Wrigley is not the Wrigley I would think that you see on TV. You see it as this nice, small, cumbersome place and stuff like that. From the outside looking in, it is completely remodeled, like overhangs and walkways and ramps and this and that. They really, really, really did it up. And then, with Wrigley, when they had the fans out in the outfield, but now the Wrigley company or whoever owns it, they bought all of those buildings.
Yeah.
So now they own the rights and sell all of the tickets. They own every bar that's there, every restaurant. They own everything that's around that building. It is absolutely unbelievable. But we started getting into pictures of margaritas. And, then all of a sudden it wasn't – the game was secondary to like, okay, what are we going to do the rest of the day? And then it was like, can you watch the game from here? And yada, yada, yada. And whatever, great time. So did the New York Yankees. I did Shea. I have done Fenway.
Not done Shea.
Surprisingly, I've never done Baltimore, which was like the one that
Baltimore
really turned – Camden Yards really turned like let's get out of the cookie cutter, like Vet Stadium, Three River Stadium, Riverfront Stadium, Busch Stadium. Let's get rid of that cookie cutter crap and have this baseball only venue. And I never went. And it's one of those things, having driven through Baltimore 1,000 times, going to and from Virginia to home. Down south, I've done a couple spring training, Johns, but nothing like main stadiums down there. No Atlanta, no Texas. Texas, the Ranger Stadium is right next to Cowboy Stadium now. I don't know if you knew that or not, but they had just built a new stadium in the last couple of years, and it's this monstrosity out there that right next to the Jerry World is the Ranger Stadium. And I think that I drove past the Anaheim Angels when we were at the Rose Bowl as a fan, not as a player, but I remember going, I think that was Anaheim, that we were up there for something. We passed the Anaheim Stadium going somewhere out there with Pat Ball, and of course we were lost.
Well, it happens.
West, I don't think anything. The two Chicagos, I never been to Fenway. Detroit, no. I'm going to Cleveland this summer. We're going to Cleveland in August. So.
Yeah, I've been to Cleveland and Baltimore each a few times.
They've done a very, very good job. I mean, like just when we grew up, it wasn't an experience of going to a baseball game at Three Rivers or the Vet. It sucked. I hated it. It was like
I didn't know any better.
We didn't know any better. You're right.
I liked it as a kid. I mean, it was still the big time. The first time I discovered that I don't know, it's just one of those things that I guess at least in my kiddo mind, and I'm probably 7 years old or so when I went to the first Pirates game, but I'm like, well, how many seats does this place hold? And I'm expecting it to be like 120 because Beaver Stadium at the time held like it, and they're like, no, it's much smaller. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I just assumed that city had to have a bigger stadium. And looking around, I mean, how would you know? I mean, I had no sense of comparing Beaver Stadium with Three Rivers Stadium at the time, and it was just it was funny. I'm like, get out of here! Why would this place not hold?
I remember saying
more?
The same thing. I'm honest to God, and I remember being in. I shouldn't say I wasn't at Penn State yet, but my brother was in the NFL, and we were like talking. Like I remember me and my father drove down to Miami. We drove my brother's car down there. He flew down for camp, and we bought his car down there, and then we flew home. But I was amazed at the facilities because I was 12 years old, 15 years old, whatever, at that time. So that would have been like 86. So I was 14. I'd say 15. And having been a young kid, 9 to 12 years old at Penn State, I had carte blanche when I was a little kid to,
right,
go to the weight room, go to the locker room, go to the training room. And I remember just sitting there and I was like, this is the NFL? And it was like some little St. Augustine, place where they were having camp. I know they when I went to Indianapolis, we were at Anderson University or Anderson College. And it's just some little dump in the middle of nowhere. And I remember just sitting there, and then even going back to the Colts facilities, and then, but having talking to my brother back in the day, the NFL was not set up the way it is currently, and that is, it was not player friendly at all. It was a business, and the owners treated it as a business. That I told you in the past,
and where they could cut, they cut.
Yeah, and like my brother asking for a pair of socks. Before a practice for the Philadelphia Eagle, and the guy said $10. And he was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, these aren't free." And you're like, "What do you mean they're not free?" Yeah. It's like, holy crap, man. So like they all had to wear their team was sponsored by Nike, so they had to wear Nikes, green swooshed Nikes, by the way. And my brother had blue, so he just painted them, and I was just whatever. That was the biggest difference I saw in there was no strength program for the Eagles back in the 80s and the 90s or in the NFL in general. It was all on the player. And I really think that the San Francisco 49ers with Bill Walsh and that player-friendly atmosphere that they had in their locker room with the DeBartolo family and I think that really changed the league where it was like, okay, well, if we have a place where players want to come, that's going to help us in free agency.
Go figure.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, that it was like the Eagles their weight room was in Veterans Stadium. And it was like, honest to God, my brother would say that their high school weight room was probably better than the Eagles weight room. Yeah. And it was just crazy how it used to be. And I was always surprised at that because then that's what I would do on my recruiting trips. I mean, I had Penn State on my mind because I knew what Penn State had or was, and I would go to Syracuse. I went to Florida State. I went to Florida, Miami, Maryland, all these places. And I was like, well, Penn State has this and Penn State has that. Oh, they don't have this, but Penn State does. And that's who I was comparing everything to. But the stadium size, to get back to your original question, that was always funny to me. Like, wait.
Yeah.
How does Penn State, a college team, have 88,000 and the Eagles have 69,000, 70,000? Same as the Steelers. And you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it was just crazy to me at the time. And there's some parks that I definitely like to get to and see in some areas of the country that I'd like to get to and see. But yeah, I have not been to that many baseball parks.
I just asked it because the Busch Stadium looks so much fun. It's like it seems to be a million things to do out there. So speaking of going out to certain parts of the country, our man, the main man, Brad Spider Caldwell, is retiring July, end of June, I think, or maybe June 1st. I don't know what it was, June or July 1st. Retiring officially this time. And he's going out west.
This time he means it.
Him and Karen, they bought a little Winnebago.
Oh, I love it.
Of course, the little Winnebago for the little couple. So, I mean, knowing him, but wouldn't it be funny if he gets out like the 66-foot RV, little Spider and Karen. So they're going out west, like your trip. The Tetons, the Yosemite, Jackson Hole, all of where everybody wants to go and stuff like that. So I got them hooked up with Creepy Dave.
Very cool.
They're going to meet out there, but Spider's going out there, and this is funny. If you see Spider in the next month, just say how you doing. You guarantee you will hear that story of what he is so excited for this trip.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So our man Spider,
the way it should be.
Yeah, we got to get Spider on here before he gets out of town.
Yes.
My little brother.
That would be
my twin brother. Have we had him on here with me, you and him, and me and Spider just telling stories?
No.
God, it's so funny.
No.
I mean, I've told you the twin story. Like, we went to Minneapolis. Speaking of going to different stadium, the Minneapolis, we were going to play Minnesota, but the Twins were still playing, and then they finished their season, and the locker room had to get broken down from a baseball to a football thing, and Spider wanted to be in control of it, so he's like, "Can you give me a hand?" So I went out with him. We flew out there like Wednesday or Thursday, and we get on this plane, and unbeknownst to us, it wasn't planned, but we literally wore the exact same khakis and a polo. Like we looked like we were coaching on a sideline is what it looked like, and that was normal wear for when we travel and stuff. So he and I fly out there, and he's walking behind me, just laughing. I'm like a mutant going down the walkway, the aisle, and you could just see he's just like, you should have seen people's faces. They're, oh God, no, please God, no, don't sit here, don't sit here. So I finally get to my seat, and this lady's like is mortified that I have to sit next to her. So I'm like, oh, I guess you won the prize, and she's like, okay, yeah. And Spider's behind me goes, ma'am, would you mind if I sit with my twin brother? And she's like, oh, no, that's fine. Please. Well, I'll trade seats with you right now. So me and my twin brother, Spider, we sat in the same seat. So he took a quarter of the seat. I took a quarter, a chair and 3 quarters. That's how we rolled.
That's the way to do it. Was this before Schwarzenegger and DeVito, or?
Yeah, but this is well after. But that's exactly what it was.
Yeah,
twins.
I love it. Yeah, that's. I didn't. I mean, again, it's one of those. Well, no, duh. When you sit and think for a second, but for so long at Penn State, we were just accustomed to coaches, not just football coaches, but coaches just in general. They were there for the long haul. And with Randy Jepson leaving the men's gymnastics program, Mark Pavlik leaving volleyball, I think now we've had kind of that complete turnover. And maybe it's been a couple of times now, but just from the folks that I covered when I was sports director at a couple of different stints over the years, I think now everybody from that time has either retired or moved on, etc., but no longer head coaches. And you think about the impact that some of these coaches have had. Obviously, Joe Paterno, but you go back to, Rich Lorenzo was coaching the wrestling team when I first started covering the wrestling program. And, obviously he is the one that set the foundation really for Penn State taking that next step. And it wasn't that, Charlie Spidell and Bill Cole were terrific coaches. What Rich Lorenzo did was force Penn State onto the national scene by scheduling the Oklahoma States and the Iowas of the world, by getting the booster club up and running, by getting Penn State just further along in the opportunity, in creating the opportunity to truly compete with the quote unquote big boys on the national stage. You look at what Mark Pavlik did over the course of his career and the consistency with which Randy Jepson guided that men's gymnastics program. It is remarkable. And I think when you sit and look at the coaches that Penn State now has across the board within the athletic department, and again, some we got to wait and see kind of how things play out here. But man, the caliber of coach. Honestly, I know we talk about it just in the Big Ten in general. Again, not just football and basketball, although certainly football and basketball. I was talking on Tuesday about the difficulty in football in making a move up in the conference, more than a spot or two in the course of a season or even a few seasons, because of a number of factors. But one of those factors is the coaching across the board now in the Big Ten. I mean, you look at the programs that are projected to be 12th through 18th, and you're looking at some of the head coaches, you're like, whoa, if that dude is like a 12th to 18th guy, or is guiding a program that's 12th to 18th with his credentials, it gives you an idea of just how competitive, how difficult the Big Ten is. And you can do that certainly with wrestling and with basketball, and probably increasingly so across the board here with these sports. But when you start looking at what Penn State has going right now, again, we'll see what I think Mike Rhodes, another important year coming up, and we got to see how some things settle out. I still think that's the right hire. I think, again, whether Penn State can take that next step as a program at any point is probably debatable right now. But when you look at the football, both hockey programs, obviously wrestling, but both lacrosse programs now, I really thought this year might be more of a turning point for both baseball and softball than it ended up being. And to me, that has more to do with the difficulty of Penn State in particular, but Northeast baseball, softball in general, in being able to forge your way into national contention. And, the one thing that I don't think I probably properly took into account is the impact of having the 4 previous Pac-12 schools coming into the conference in terms of baseball and softball. Now I'm talking about specifically. Those are established programs and very competitive, certainly USC and UCLA and Oregon, that it makes it that much more difficult to get headway in those sports as well if you're Penn State. But again, I think the caliber of coaches that they have there, and really, again, across the board right now, pretty hard to think of a time where it has been better top to bottom with the head coaches of the respective sports that Penn State has. Obviously, both soccer programs now. I mean, what Erica has done with the women's soccer program has been absolutely phenomenal. But again, across the board, I think Penn State,
successful year. I mean, not
really good coaches.
Yeah, I love the coaches that they've assembled and this and that. But since the Joe era, they've all turned over, right? Is that what we're saying? At least once.
Yes. At least once. Yeah.
Jeez, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah. Wow. And again, it's, 15 years out.
By the way, can you imagine
it does happen.
Being USC or UCLA, playing in the Pac-12, and then all of a sudden you got to come play Rutgers, Maryland, and Maryland's not as bad as Rutgers and State College or Sparty, Minnesota. We talk about Northeast cold and Lord,
no, that's a different
animal. There's no doubt about it. But I told you I have some friends who played in Major League Baseball who live down in the South or from the South, and they make points to me that I'm like, because my good friend Bucky Greeley, his son is an outstanding baseball player. His whole family were outstanding baseball players. I think Bucky's in the Penn State Hall of Fame for baseball also. So he was talking. He goes, Goon, if I grew up in the South, I wouldn't spend a day I wouldn't put a football helmet on, because I would have been playing baseball my whole life, year round. And I've talked to guys who are from the South and who have played in the Major League Baseball, and it's a whole different game in the South because you can't pitch year round. You're wearing these kids completely out.
Yeah.
They have some of these, they have fall ball in the South. They have fall ball, spring ball, summer ball, travel ball, this and that. I mean, you have a picture. I mean, it's so easy to get blown out as a young guy. 18 years old, your arm's already gone. It's weird to think about that.
It is.
And he has often told me, he goes, if you look at Major League Baseball, the relievers arms, I don't know why it was relievers, but he said 3/4 of the relievers in Major League Baseball are from the north of Mason-Dixon line. Yeah, it was like, and I was like, I don't know what, how that happens, why a reliever, why not a starter / closer and this and that. But he was telling me, he's like, a lot of these kids in the South, they play year round. And they pitch, and you're 12 years old. You think your arm hurts? It doesn't hurt. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you're definitely doing some long-term damage to it. You're wearing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird world. It's like playing football. You can't play football year round. Physically, you need that time off to relax and recover and recoup. Now that we figured out the world's problems, Jeff, how are you? What's the head guy going on this weekend?
To that end, Goon, I had somebody. I think this was last week, and they stumped me. And I've done a little bit of research, but I think I'm right that there isn't one. And if somebody out there knows. And wants to correct me, by all means. But along these lines, we somehow got onto the discussion of how early kids are specializing in sports, in a particular sport, more accurately, so that, again, when I was in school, again, if our best athletes did 3 sports minimum. I mean, that was just, and if you were able to make the team, most kids did at least 2 sports. If, again, they had enough ability to make the roster in those. And most of us that were sports oriented, if we weren't playing a particular sport during a particular season, we were either doing IM, State College in those days. I don't know if they still do, but they had a pretty strong intramural program. And so we would do that and or just play pickup games of some kind, even up through high school. But, it was never even a thought that I'm aware of. Like, I can't think of a single kid. And again, times obviously have changed. I don't know that there were those opportunities. I don't remember a kid who did any one sport year round. I really don't think we had that opportunity. There were some kids that only played basketball, but they didn't play year round. They played basketball during basketball season, and then they took time off. Yeah. I mean, I might do pickup games or stuff. But so we were talking about this, and they're like, well, even when we were going through Penn State, again, it wasn't, I don't want to make it sound like, oh, yeah, left and right, everywhere you look, there were these athletes that were playing 2 sports, but it was not that uncommon. I mean, there were some football players that were playing baseball. We had a couple that tried basketball. There was, we had some football players that wrestled at the heavyweights, that sort of thing. And I think we had track and field, and trying to think what the other we were talking about it. Now I don't remember. There were a couple of track and field athletes. Well, I mean, you go back far enough, football as well. Are you? They asked me, and I'm like, I don't think there is. Is there anybody at Penn State? And I don't, not cross country and track and field.
Yeah, I got you. You mean currently?
Are there anybody, any student athletes at Penn State who are doing multiple sports? And I'm like, I don't And actually, I'm not sure who the last one. I don't remember in recent, like since the pandemic. Let's use that as the quote unquote recent times.
Well, who was the wrestler? Who was the wrestler who had a football background within the last 10 years? Or maybe he didn't have a wrestling background or a football background. Karchi was like, can you imagine that guy?
Michael Parsons was talking about going out.
I mean, I know what you're saying, though.
I know some of the workouts. And again, it wasn't like, I'm
just thinking in my ear.
It wasn't like there were like 20 or 30. It was like, but there were a few pretty consistently. And when I say a few, I mean literally that, like 3 to 5.
Honest to God, I'll throw you the name. And I mean, this was 20 years ago. It was Jordan Norwood. He was on the hoops team.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember. I mean, I'll give you 10 guys that from my era that Greg Troxel was a wrestler.
Yeah.
Ricky Bolinski, he wrestled a little bit.
Yeah.
Kijana ran track. Brian Milne was obviously a discus and that type of guy.
Yeah.
Chris Caesar, Derek Bonner, and OJ all played baseball.
Yep.
But like when I was coaching, Jordan was there playing basketball. There was another guy right after me who had played basketball on the team. But I don't remember. You're right. I don't recall.
Like
it's just so weird that you say this.
And I don't know if there's like if somebody knows and wants to either text either of us. I just
saw this morning that we picked up a recruit from the football team who was already a commit to UVA, and they say he is a football lacrosse player. And I was like, wow. And that literally, it's so funny that you just said that because I honest to God, 4 hours ago was sitting there reading, and I said, wow. I mean, we should get more football players that play lacrosse. I mean, it's like one of those compatible sports type of things. And that's so funny that you just said that because that's what I saw this morning. And I'm
interesting.
For the life of me, I don't.
I mean, it's been a little while that I'm aware of. And like even, and I don't know that there's been a lot of non-football players who have done two sports. I'm even less aware of that if there have been. But there are some sports that would seem like they are somewhat compatible in different seasons.
Football,
but again,
wrestling.
Once you get to the collegiate level, and especially now where you're being paid to play your sport in many cases, right, it makes it, hey, we're paying you to be part of our team. We have off-season workouts year-round. So, I mean, I understand it as far as it goes. But I just
see, people always ask that. It's like, oh, was that a detriment? And I say, actually, probably not. It would actually help recruit better athletes and better players to say, hey, you can play two sports here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
some schools are like, no, you're not
people...
playing two sports. You're going to play because we're paying. Like Ohio State's like, we're paying for you to play football here. You're not going to be a track guy. You're not going to do this or that. Where I always thought that it would be a benefit to do that.
One of the things that I think is going to be interesting to follow moving forward is when we talk about I don't know how many high school kids now dream about playing two sports collegiately, let alone beyond. And again, this goes back to, I mean, we have more and more kids and families of kids deciding in elementary school that, you know what, we're going to be a wrestler or a baseball player or a lacrosse player or football or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And so they're not even doing 2 or 3 sports in middle school, let alone high school, let alone the thought of doing it in college.
But you have a child that age. Would you be okay if the Turtle said, I just want to play basketball?
Yeah, so this is the thing. Yes, ultimately, like what I would do And again, part of it is you have to be honest in your assessment as a parent, right?
Sure.
Like if he had a remarkable proclivity for it, right? And like he's fine. He's a decent enough player. He is not a phenom, at least at age 10 or 11. And so while I would allow that, we would not be doing baseball year round. Like we're not going to do anything like we can. If you only want to do one sport, that's fine. We're going to find some other activities then to get involved with, whether, it's, hey, let's explore the theater a little bit, and I mean, we're doing all this anyway, juggling it with sports, but it's like, you got to get, chess club, something like you got to be involved in something throughout, and not the entire year, but like you can't just 3 months we're going to do this and then and again, if you have a kiddo who just is remarkable at whatever, and they have a passion for it, and they are coming to you saying, man, I want to be the best at this, and you're looking at it and you're like, you know what, maybe, it does seem like you have a special talent. If that's really what you want to do, yes, okay, maybe I'm still not sure I'd do year round at the elementary level, but maybe, all right, yep, we'll do some off-season camps, workouts, see if there's a coach that can work with you, that type of thing. I think that's fine if your kid has a particular knack and comes to you expressing that passion, that this is really what they want to zero in on. I just think that is very much the exception. I think there are very few kids that, like, in the middle of the summer are saying, man, all I can think about is hockey. That's just my, and again, if they are, maybe feed that passion, especially if, you can see that there's some natural ability there. Anyways, all right. Jan Johnson, 2015 to 2016. Bob Jones before that.
Bob Jones.
Well, now we're naming a bunch of guys that were the heavyweights. Yeah, there's a lot.
Why are they always heavyweights? Why is it always heavyweights?
Well, because football, I mean, generally your wide receivers and your cornerbacks they tend to be more of the basketball players than the wrestlers. Would that be fair to say?
Oh, because they're too tall.
There's not
too tall to wrestle.
There's not a lot of, well, I don't know. Wrestling, you can have. That's the great thing about wrestling. You can be.
I think that David, that's what's always set him apart was his height, his length.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, I mean, wrestling. The one of the great things about it, outside of now, there is a limit on the how heavy you can be. But when I was a kid, one of the great things about it was that you could be any body type, you could be any size, any proportion of individual, and have an opportunity to go out and wrestle and compete.
You call me Tab Thacker? Is that who you're calling me, buddy?
I would never.
How dare you?
Tell you what, you could be called a lot worse than national champion, but
I had to look him up a couple of years ago because OJ was asking me when he was out at nationals, and he goes, "Was there ever?" And I said, "Yeah, dude. There was the guy from Iowa State with the huge head who was on the wrestling. He's on a bronze statue getting flipped. Heavyweight guy, Chris Taylor.
Oh yeah,
he was a mutant of a man.
Yeah,
Tab Thacker. He was in Wildcats.
Yep.
He was Finch. God rest both of their souls.
Yeah.
But that was and I showed Juice that picture. Was Tab Thacker like North Carolina State or South Carolina State, something like that. Oh, my God, he was enormous.
Yeah, North Carolina State. Yep.
NC State. Okay.
Yep.
Why do they always have good heavyweights? Holy crap.
Who, NC State?
Yeah, I mean, within the last like 10 years, they've always had very competitive
Yeah,
they had that Polish kid a couple years ago.
Ones. Sylvester Turkay.
Really good.
Yeah. There's a bunch of guys on the Penn State team now.
We'll always say, I always kid around that, like, our football team could have produced a very good basketball team and stuff like that. And, just because we're very good athletes and stuff like that. But I'll tell you, my brother Craig, and I'll be on my soapbox here a little bit. My brother Craig's my height. He's 6'7", played high school basketball, high school baseball. He didn't play football because the first day of freshman football, they put him at quarterback. He didn't want to play quarterback, so because he was a 6'7" left-hander. He looked like Mark McGuire out there throwing a football. Remember Mark McGuire's brother? So he didn't want to play football. He wanted to play defensive end and tight end. Like, I'm looking at him, I'm like, dude, you're Kyle Brady. And to this day, my brother is upset that he didn't play football. To this day. So listen to this. He was in the city of Philadelphia. He was first team All-City in basketball, which is obviously an unbelievable accomplishment, as a sophomore and a pitcher in baseball. As a sophomore was All-City. So that included all of the Interact schools, all of the public schools, and all the Catholic schools. That is a hell of an accomplishment. Pitched 1 year in the Catholic League his sophomore year, was first team All-Catholic, first team All-City, this and that. And they said, you know what, I'm going to go play baseball. I don't want to play baseball anymore. And he just played basketball. It's crazy. So I always kid around with him about, playing. He should have played football, and he knows that. He looks back on it. Successful NBA career, not NBA, but professional career in Europe. Played 7-8 years, made a lot of money, and done very well for himself. So but I go back to, I'm bigger, stronger, and faster than him, but he knew how to play the game, basketball. Like, I always kid around, like, our football team could have really competed with the basketball team with some players in this and that. But if you get up against guys who that's their job and they know the ins and outs of it, they would have worked us. Like, I kid around with Matt Gaudio. Remember that name?
Oh, yeah.
He was, 6'4", 6'5"? But, dude, that was tough as hell, man. I used to sit there and say, we'd be at a party and this and that. And I'd be like, dude, if you need me, I would love to play basketball. Like, get me out there. I'll get you 12 rebounds a game. And he's like, that's not as easy as you think, big boy. And then, we would go out and play and he'd be there. And there'd be some fights, and not like physical fights, but you'd be mucking and grinding and clawing it out with him. And again, like I said, like, guys know how to play the game. They know the ins and outs. They can be very, very good. So, I talk about football players playing basketball. If Kerry Collins and Kyle Brady wanted to play college basketball, they could have. They could have at some Division I school. Yeah. And they were that superior of athletes. Bobby Ingram was unbelievable. We had some studs, but you get to I don't know how you could have done it with us.
Now I just don't know. Like, I think it can be done.
Yeah.
There's probably I'm not even aware. Like, I don't know if multiple teams even recruit. Like, again, it wasn't like commonplace, but it wasn't uncommon either that a guy would be recruited by, both the baseball and the football team, or the wrestling and the football team, or the track, and it would, like, there would be whatever the agreement was between the coaches. Hey, yep, we're going to let this guy at least come out the first year. Mm-hmm. From Joe's perspective, hey, yeah, he can try it. Let's see how it goes. We need to take care of our responsibilities here as well. That sort of thing. I'm really not sure. I think it'd be much more difficult now. Let me put it that way, to even create that arrangement, just because of the numbers involved, for one thing, because now, like, that's taking up a roster spot on, and again, you're limited now in the roster spots. There were always limits of some sort, but it is more limited now, the number of spots that you have available. So to have somebody that's not going to be available for the off-season workouts, or at least part of the off-season workouts, I think it's tougher for the teams to make that commitment. And again, if you're playing football and you're making good money playing football, it's tough for the football team to then say, yeah, go ahead and give this another try. It's also tougher for you to say, I want to give something else a try, because you know where your bread's getting buttered, right? So I don't know that even...
Can we double dip the NIL?
Type
multiple
of,
sport NIL
money?
money? No,
That's
but I'm going to go back to the recruiting thing, and then some places could use that as a benefit. Like some guys are adamant, like I'm playing both sports.
Yeah, I don't think there's many of those people left.
I don't think there's many schools that would be like, okay, that's fine, because first of all, if I'm a football coach and I'm paying you to play football, I am not going to risk you getting hurt on the basketball court, on the wrestling mat, or pulling a hamstring on a track field. That's how I am coaching-wise. Like, hey, we're the ones paying for your scholarship. Now, if it comes down to you get a chance to get a Kijana Carter, and he says, Coach, the bottom line is I am going to run track in the spring. And if you allow this, I'm coming. Yeah, and then, hey, okay, well, that's how you get a guy like that. But I don't think there's many guys doing that anymore.
No, and again, I don't think there's many guys that are even look at the D1 level in particular. I'm talking about that are looking at doing that. I think it is more likely these days at like the D2 or D3 level, where it's like, I'm a pretty good all around athlete. I'm not, maybe good enough to be a D1 athlete.
And they could share the scholarship and not be like football and be like, hey, we got this one, Yeah. It might help.
Yeah. All of those things.
That's the longest segment we've ever had in about 8 years of doing this show.
We went just a little over time.
Hey,
we'll take a break here. Be back with much more. It is the Lion Country Kia, Goon and Ironhead show.
You look a bit nervous, hey?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, Coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA, signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox, State College.
And we welcome you back to the show. Time for our second commercial break of the afternoon. Oh, we got a few minutes. Just screwing around. Pirates now up 4-1. Need to get probably at least two more runs before the bullpen crashes and burns. But
the negative Yinzer fans.
Was that out loud?
It was, but you're not the only one out.
Son of a gun.
I have a bunch of friends they have a pirate. I don't know. They put me on it just to make me mad, I think. They thought they were going to, because they were, the start you guys at the Pirates have versus the Phillies, they decided to put me on a group chat. And now look what,
yeah.
Now it's just, a lot of brooms were thrown out this weekend. It was really weird.
That is weird.
Mm-hmm. So they're talking, and they are all down on that, the bullpen.
Yeah, everything else is pretty much in place. They just, I was worried about how the bullpen would hold up over the course of the entire season. I didn't think it was going to be
this quick.
Yeah, this bad, this
implosion,
this early. I was worried whether the arms would hold out throughout the season. I did think they'd have some production early on, but
I mean, we're about year 5 of them having. Like, they've actually had some pretty good starting pitching.
Yeah, the starting pitching's
has been very good the last 5 years, but it's just like these arms are going to wear out, and that sure as hell is what happened the last couple of years.
Yep.
They didn't wait till the midseason to lose their arms this year. They just started, right off.
Yeah, we'll see if they can.
We're looking at we're watching the Pirates. Buck goes. So you watch a lot of games. It is absolutely amazing to me how these guys see the box and how the catchers they are so good.
Yes, if nothing else,
it is
amazing. The ABS has made it painfully obvious just how good these guys are at calling balls and strikes, and the number of times, because the one, like, you're not challenging unless you really think right? And how many times you think and you're wrong and the umpire is right, it is actually pretty astonishing. The funny thing to me, and I don't know, I'm sure because they keep stats on everything with baseball. I haven't seen the stats on pitchers' challenges versus catchers' challenges on the same team.
I don't think I've not seen pitchers.
I've seen it now 3 times, and all 3 times the catcher's like,
"No,
why would you do that?"
Yeah, I got
and
you.
like I think
trust
teams,
your catcher.
Yeah, I think teams need to. And man, I think most of them probably do, is just tell your pitchers you don't ever challenge. I don't care how certain
it's too competitive.
You are. Yep, you worry about just pitching. Let the catcher. But 3 times I've seen now a pitcher pitcher challenge.
Yeah,
and all 3 times the catcher's like, oh. And all 3 times it's like, nope, it was a ball.
They were laughing at one today on early morning shows. Or it could have been yesterday. The Volpe from the Yankees, he went to the helmet on a pitch, and they were like, he obviously didn't see where it went because it was, I mean, maybe an inch off dead center. It wasn't even like a quarter. He didn't nip the corner. I mean, it was dead red, right in the middle, right in the heart. And they were like, obviously he did not see that pitch, and he just went to the helmet like, no, that's not a strike. And it was as a strike as you get. Oh, off the top of the fence.
All right, now we only need one more. Hammering Henry Davis with the power display.
The negativity of the Yinzers is unbelievable.
No, I'm all positive. We just need one more, and then there's a chance that the bullpen won't be able to blow it.
It is bad.
Henry Davis makes it a 5-1 game for the beloved Buccos. Oh, man, did Mangum have a great catch last night late. I really, when it was went off the bat, I'm like, oh, my gosh, they just gave up a grand slam. But Mangum chased it down, and Pirates got a much-needed win last night.
7-0, eh?
This would be big to be able to
take the series?
Yeah, get the series victory here, and then see what they can do north of the border. Who do the Phillies have this weekend? I did just see it. I'm forgetting. The Mad Turtle is heartbroken, by the way. The Padres took the first game of the 3-game series with the Dodgers and then lost the last 2.
Wow.
And so I think the Dodgers now are a game and a half up. Yeah, they'd be a game and a half up.
I thought I knew who the Phillies play. I thought it was going to come to me.
Yeah, I just looked it up this morning because it was like, hey, we might get into a discussion about
Cleveland and
upcoming
Philly
series. Oh, yeah, that's right. Which that should be a good.
It's a house divided series. In my house.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
She'd be like, who are the Guardians?
Wow. But if they win, I mean, bragging rights, come on.
Yeah, we're going this year. We're going out to Cleveland.
Yeah, I do. My eldest nephew now lives like just a couple of blocks from the ballpark. I'm not even sure it's a full 2 blocks. So he's right down in the
down by the chocolate bar, baby.
Yep, all fun stuff.
Oh, he's out of college,
the offense, right? Going a little bit. Yes, yeah. Into the so-called real world. Grudging.
So I guess that might be the new Flats area of the Cleveland area.
Yeah, Chris Hogan, just going back to the 2 sport athletes at Penn State, Chris Hogan played lacrosse at Penn State, then went on as wide receiver for the Patriots.
Hofstra?
Remember Michael Timpson had, what's that?
Hofstra? Not Hofstra. What's the other Long Island college? Where do the Jets practice? Well, that's where he went for Hogan did. He went to Penn State, then he played football 1 year up at I don't even know if they even have a football team anymore. I can't believe I'm forgetting this. Wherever the New York Jets have their facilities is where up in Long Island is where Hogan had played. He went to school, played lacrosse here for 4 years. Is it Hofstra? I think it's Hofstra.
Might be. Yeah, Hofstra's on Long.
Yeah, I think it's Hofstra. I think that's where Hogan played for a year, and then he went and got drafted by the Patriots.
Yeah. Well, Michael
Timpson, what did he play?
Yeah. Was a receiver for the Patriots. Patriots have had.
Well, what did Timpson play up here?
He was a wide receiver, and then he did track and field.
Okay, so he ran track.
He was, yeah.
I'm trying to think. I know Kijana ran track. It was like one of those. I mean, he was just so explosive.
Yeah.
I think Justin Williams may have ran track too, and obviously Brian Milne.
Yeah.
Obviously
he was.
But the Bob Jones thing. But yeah, you remember Troxel.
Oh yeah.
Trox was a typical what you would think of a heavyweight playing football, and that was and Ricky Bolinski. I don't know how much he wrestled with you guys, but that was the strongest human being I've ever met in my life. Still to this day.
Yeah.
Easily the strongest human being I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, there were some.
So I'm not going to throw a name out there.
Pretty remarkable two-sport athletes. Bonner was actually a terrific. Well, both he and McDuffie were. I mean, they were not just on the team; like they were.
They were studs, yeah.
Yeah.
And then people had told me that Chris Caesar, he was a Western PA guy, is a hell of a baseball player too from back in the day.
Yeah. There was another one before that who was very good.
Baseball, football.
Correct. Oh my gosh! Wow. Yeah, that's not going to come to me.
I always bust OJ's you-know-whats every time I see him. And I said my first vision of OJ was he was in dead-ass center field. I was on a spring visit here. It was 1989. It was cold as hell. We had a recruiting visit, and they had a baseball game going on, and I'm watching baseball. He's dead center field. He's got his hat up top, and he has the Jerry curl going, fully activated, man. And I always kid around with him. I'm like, you bald as hell right now. But the first time I met you, you had that soul glow. Yeah, but he could play. He was good.
No doubt about that. Yeah, DJ Dozier was. Went to the Mets, right?
Mets and then the Vikings, both first-round picks, and that's amazing. How did we forget the DJ Dozier one? Jesus.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break here. We'll see what other names we can come up with and throw out as we continue. It is our Thursday edition of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here from Quaker Steak and Lube.
You look a bit nervous, hey?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA, signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, We advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox State College.
And back on a Thursday afternoon. Again, we are at Quaker Steak and Lube. Great place to come on down and watch your favorite sports on the multiple TVs located all throughout the restaurant and bar area. Of course, great food, great menu selection, and some cold beverages, Goon, to wash down the aforementioned food and the best service in the area. A huge thank you to Quaker Steak and Lube for being our home since our inception of the Goon Ironhead show.
Lion Country Kia,
Timberland
Federal Credit Union.
Yep,
these guys have been great.
Fantastic.
And Lusk, the brewery, all the guys helping us out. And I don't even know how long we've been on the air either. I always go back to, COVID was what, 2020?
Back in the day.
6 years ago when we weren't in that was like year 2 or 3 then. Holy hell. We might be common law married, Ironhead. God forbid.
Speaking of which, might be bailing me out of a little trouble. Let me publicly wish my wife a happy anniversary. Our anniversary will be on Memorial Day. And congrats to you and Carrie recently celebrating your anniversary.
12 years.
We'll hit 7.
Yeah.
On Monday.
Well, yeah, we were doing the show then, so pre-COVID.
Yep. Time does fly. Pirates now 6-1 in the bottom of the 7th, by the way.
You're okay. You're okay with that lead?
At least gives them a fighting chance. They haven't gotten to the bullpen yet, so we're still in.
Well, that's still a starter?
Still in good shape at the moment. Yep. Braxton's still out there.
No wonder.
So it's looking very promising.
Absolutely. No wonder they're doing so well. The pitcher's,
exactly
the
right.
starter's still in there.
Exactly right.
Gotcha.
Although now it looks like they might be talking it over a little bit in the dugout.
Mm-hmm. You want to go get him? Oh, God.
If anybody wants to throw out, we were talking a little bit during the break, other two-sport athletes. I really can't I'm sure there have been some. I can't think of non-football two-sport athletes. There have to have been.
And we're not lumping in lacrosse and field hockey. Like, that's a common thing in women's sports, in my opinion.
Yeah,
a lot more.
Still, I would throw that in though.
Okay.
I mean, if you had.
Well, I got Rich Maudie, Mike and Pat's dad. He was I'm known as more as the lacrosse player than he was as a football player here. And then he goes out and plays with the New Orleans Saints and is a special teams nightmare for them down there. He was their horse. So he's on that list as multiple sports guys, but obviously he had the football background. Well, you're right. I'm trying to think of other guys who played other than football. But then that was the thing from back in the day is that football, you had to have that because football could pay for the scholarship. And then
right.
That's sort of why you had that combination there. I mean, who was the best one I've ever seen was Julius Peppers at North Carolina playing defensive end.
Yeah.
And then playing, he was literally the starting power forward on a national championship basketball team in North Carolina. And that to me is amazing right there. Who else did I just have in my head right there that I was I'm a Navarro Bowman. He didn't play multiple sports here, but he was being recruited as a point guard for North Carolina. I mean, that's how good of an athlete that dude was. That's insane to think about.
Yes, that is.
He didn't play basketball here, but he had a background that he was being recruited nationally by North Carolina and Dean Smith. That in itself is amazing to me.
Yes.
Damn. And, knowing how good of a football player he was, I couldn't imagine him playing basketball. My Lord. He's going to hurt a few people out there.
Yeah, although with the explosiveness, you could.
And his body type, he had his arms 4.5 feet long. I mean, he would just take the ball and bam, dunk. Think about great athletes. Noble, my era. I mean, I know I say their names, but our class was like really athletic. I mean, Andre Johnson could hoop. I mean, I wasn't a shabby basketball player. I'm more of just a trash man. I was Bill Lambier. But you needed a Bill Lambier when you played back in the day.
Yeah.
Marco was a hell of a lacrosse player up in Long Island. Hardings was a all-state basketball player at St. Henry. I mean, that in itself, Jeff's story to me is just amazing. Give you a little synopsis that he got here, was 247 pounds when he came to Penn State. That's what Jeff Harding's weight. Leaves here as a 3-time All-Big Ten, 2-time All-American, goes into the NFL, plays 12 years in the All-Pro guard center. But he was from St. Henry, Ohio. And he had there was 26 boys in his senior class of high school. 5 Division I football and basketball players.
Is that right?
One being Jeff, who was an All-American. Another being Bobby Hoyne, the quarterback for Ohio State on our
I do remember them, but yeah.
So they were high school teammates. They won a state basketball and football title. And they were also from the same hometown as Jim Lachey, the left tackle for the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, this is a little town in Ohio named St. Henry, Ohio. They just pumped out athletes like you would not believe, big, just big, strong farm kids. Lachey and Bobby. There was another guy that played tight end for Ohio State from St. Henry in that high school. Lachey was not in our class. Lachey was already in the NFL when we were in college, but he is from St. Henry, Ohio. But that's just amazing to me that Jeff's small town, they produced that 5 or 6 Division I football and basketball players in one high school class.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but if there's only one school in town, I mean, I always go back to it. I always say that I had 5 or 6 Division I football players within a 5-mile radius of my home where I grew up. We're all at the 5 different high schools. If we were all meant to go to the same high school, but, those 5 miles of the Philadelphia area are a little bit bigger than the 5-mile area of St. Henry, Ohio with population. So, isn't that crazy when I say that?
It is.
There's 5 guys that I grew up with that we all went to 5 different high schools and all went on to, successful college and NFL stuff. So, but they're not radio stars like me and you, Jeffrey.
Nope, they don't have that going for them.
No, sir.
Tough.
They are not the voice of the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club. I love it.
That's right.
I mean, football and wrestling. I mean, obviously, Dave Joyner was he was All-American in both.
Yep. But if we're going to go back far enough,
I mean,
Jesse Arnell was
yes
fantastic at both.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that there's.
In general, I mean,
many people that even have the interest to try to do it, let alone schools willing to do it in all of the different
a lot of moving parts, man.
There. Yeah, and again, now it is a job, literally, and so that I do think it changes the equation. Not that it can't still be done. I think makes it more of a challenge now, and you need to get, more things checked off. I think, and honestly, Goon, I'm just thinking off the top of my head here, but I'm thinking the 5 on 5 is going to make it also less likely that athletes would try it. And I don't know that there was a whole lot of, maybe I'm not remembering accurately, but I don't really remember like a situation, hey, I'm going to redshirt this year so I can focus and, do a little, see if I can get into the starting lineup with the baseball team or with the wrestling. I mean, wrestling was always tricky because, and I think it would be difficult. Now you had Ben Keeter at Iowa doing it, but and it was difficult even back in the day because football season would end and you needed, a month or so to get yourself into the lineup then for wrestling. And usually the wrestlers wouldn't, it was at least late December, mid-December, I guess, until, and, even at the high school level, you have that with basketball and wrestling. Sometimes it's like, hey, our first couple of weeks here of the regular season, we're going to be without a couple of guys because of the football season ending. And it's like, yeah, we want the football team to be successful and go into the playoffs, but we also want them for our team at the high school level. But now, again, not impossible, but it would be really difficult to play football and then make that transition to wrestling and be able to beat out anybody on the roster who's been wrestling, now mostly year round.
See, I think now it's more in football with the strength and conditioning that goes on in the off season and you're building your pyramid up there, and then you're going to build you to a point where it can be broken down during the season. But if you are building yourself in the spring and the summer, go through football, and then you start basketball or start baseball, you don't have that time to go lift. And you sure as hell aren't lifting as a football player and going out and playing basketball or baseball. You can't do that because you're using a whole different set of muscles, and you're just setting yourself up for injury that way. And that's a big thing because the strength and conditioning is so important in a collegiate football player in any sport.
Yeah,
not just collegiate football, but any college. But college football, speaking from as an offensive lineman, that's an important time for you to gain strength. I mean, you're starting to. What I noticed in my career was when I stopped growing, like height-wise, like freshman, sophomore year in college, and I started to be able to fill out physically because before I was just stretching. I was gaining, 20 pounds, but 2 inches a year, and you really couldn't see any kind of muscle being built on me or anything like that. But once you stopped growing, you can start slapping it on, and then, I haven't stopped slapping it on since. So that's usually that's how I say my excuse is. I just stopped growing. With my weight right now, I should be like 8'2". But it would be tough to get a guy and have a college football coach say, hey, I don't mind Joe playing, basketball or baseball. I mean, but, I know that, my coach, Joe, would have been like, as long as he's getting his workouts in, is he lifting and running, he's staying in shape, that's all he's asking. But, as an offensive lineman, you got to get bigger, stronger, faster. That's not really helping you playing basketball.
And usually you're having specific goals, right? Like coaches or sit down with players at the end of the season. It's like, hey, let's see if we can pick up a step on speed next year, or depending on the position. But let's zero in on this or that as areas to focus.
I'll give you Joe's postseason pump up speech. You're too fat. You lose weight. We're too fat. We're too heavy. We're not. You're not quick enough. And and I used to just laugh, but that was his thing. He did not like the number 300.
No,
he hated that number. My goodness. I don't think Coach Campbell and his staff have a problem with it.
No, it does not seem to be an issue.
I told you, I said I had a meeting with a couple of the guys, when Coach called back the decades of teams. And I went to the 70s, 80s, 90s weekend because, one, because I wanted to see what we do and I could help out. And then I obviously went to the 90s one. But the sheer size of the gentleman nowadays playing on the offensive line is absolutely amazing. We're talking about Cooper Cousins. He does not look like that large of a man, but that man is a large man now. He is every bit of 335 right now. In shape, put together, slapped together. It's unbelievable. He was not that weight. I met him 2 years ago. He was probably, 295, 300 pounds. So he's put 35 pounds on in 2 years, and it's good weight. We have a enormous set of guys, group of guys right now. It's impressive, very, very impressive what Coach Campbell has right now, and I think that he's ready for the Big Ten, in my opinion. I'm very much looking forward. I just booked the trip, by the way,
for
the Northwestern. Yeah, you had your offer.
Yeah,
it's already seized up.
Too many moving parts on my end to be able to commit this far on, especially on a Friday night. But
that's November or October too. So you guys will.
Yeah.
When would that wrestling? They start October 1 or November 1?
Officially, which always cracks me up, practices will start. The dual meets and tournaments won't start until November.
Okay. Yeah, you're saying that you practice isn't open, but they're practicing year round. So it's like, well,
the official, which officially, it's our opening day.
Is that because of all the different sports, or is just not as regulated as football? Not the different sports, but all the different tournaments and stuff like that.
They're not practicing like you are restricted in what you like the times that you can practice for college with college coaches in there. The regional training center, which has the same coaches, I mean, there's crossover there. And then the kids can work out on their own.
With their coaches.
Pretty much anytime. Well, no, not with the coaches. That's but, the room can be open and they can be in there working out. Yeah, a lot of this stuff, I don't know. I think we'd be better off just letting kids and coaches and programs figure out what works best, and not the bureaucrats with the NCAA. But
and I know you're against it, but
we're moving that direction.
In the last couple of shows we've been talking about it, but I'm sort of for it. I'm actually the 5 for 5. Like, it's it. Now we got to get to the point where we got to clear out this section, like you said, the lawsuits that are going to come up, guys. But 4 years from now, you're not going to deal with that. I just like to clear cut 5 years. You got 5 years to play.
I like
it's a long time to play. That's a lot of football games. And I do want to talk to you. we are not going to have a record that's pre-2025.
Correct.
Within the next 10 years.
Yeah.
There's not going to be one record. No, I mean, any of the big records or whatever. Catches.
Career records.
Type of stuff. If you're playing
season records.
15 games a year,
5
years.
Yes.
I played 40 games here. 44 games, and then they didn't count the bowl games.
Well, it's just it's like the 1,000 yards rushing. When we were kids, that was a huge deal in the NFL. A couple of things now. Obviously, we went from 14 games to 17 games. But also, you had running back was the glamour position, really even more so than quarterback. Like you identified more, there were more kids in the backyards, or in our case, a churchyard that we played in. Yeah. But we were pretending to be, Billy Sims or Earl Campbell or Franco Harris much more than we were Terry Bradshaw or Fran Tarkenton. They were names too. I don't mean that they weren't, but it wasn't as clear cut as it is now that, quarterback is the position. The running backs were a big deal. So part of it is I just don't think we emphasize running backs as much.
We came into play. It was a run game. It was 3 yards of cloud of dust, and then just different teams ran it a different way. Wishbone, power eye.
Yeah.
Miami? The Kosar Testaverde years and stuff like that. Jim Kelly into that. You don't remember these really prolific pass offenses in college.
Not with not at the powerhouse programs. No. BYU kind of made its name by developing quarterbacks, but
early
they
80s.
Weren't. Yeah, but they weren't consistently
Purdue.
A national title contender. Yeah.
You're right. The quarterback was not like the glamour position it is now.
Yeah, it was quarterbacks were a big deal. I don't want it, but it was on a lot of teams, the player that kids would most identify with was the running back. It's quarterback was, maybe a close second, but it's I want to be, pick your running back du jour, but they were the ones that I think were looked at as the glamour position.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, thinking about it right now. Elway and Marino.
Well, that whole
that era,
Jim
that's
Kelly,
when it started to turn into to be the. It blended down from the NFL into college, then, in my opinion. That's a good point, though. It was all about the running backs in college. Yeah, but let's go back to it. So, not one record is going to stand. Your
career records,
career yardage, passing yards, receiving yards, catches, games played, games won. There's going to be nothing. It's going to be you need to, honest to God, have 2 record books, in my opinion. That's crazy.
You just need to recognize, because the NFL does the records are still the records, but it was O.J. Simpson getting 2,000 yards
in 14 games.
Yes, obviously that was a more impressive feat, was a bigger deal.
What's a one season? Yeah, that's man. We played 16 games 2 years ago.
Yeah,
imagine that, doing that twice in your 5-year career. Goodness gracious.
Or what about 5 times in a 5-year career if you get really, really fortunate? Yeah,
let's wear these kids out before the NFL, before they can make actually real money in the NFL. You better pay them. Holy crap!
But I do think it's why you're seeing kids like Singleton and allen here. I I don't think it's as big of a deal for kids to not be, quote unquote, the guy. You're okay with being a guy at the collegiate level, especially at positions that take a beating like that. Because you only have so much tread on the tire.
There you go. Look at that, Ironhead.
I want that tire to last. What's up?
That's my saying.
Oh,
a lot of tread on that tire, baby. You can only use it so long in the NFL. Don't use it all in college.
I heard it somewhere. All right, let's take a break here. We're back with a final segment on our Thursday afternoon after this.
You look a bit nervous, eh?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox State College.
back on a Thursday afternoon as we head ever closer to the weekend. Pirates trying to make it interesting. Now it's 6-2. Runners at first and second in the bottom of the eighth.
Like they're not going to do that. They're not going to blow this, right? Because we're sitting here watching it.
No, they wouldn't dare.
I mean, it's not really their MO, you know? I mean,
no, not at all.
And it is only the eighth inning if my eyes are correct, right?
That is correct.
Well, they have five more out, another 4 outs to go. So grab 2 here, 6-4 going to the ninth. Give the Cardinals a shot.
Right. Sounds about right.
Is it just negativity brought on because it's the Buccos?
Yes.
Well, you guys aren't negative, but the Steelers like this. It's just the Buccos.
Well, it's also combination of realism and
years of
ongoing, experience.
See, Philadelphia fans are so positive about everything.
That's
at
true.
every
Just
moment.
Upbeat.
Yes, very, very
Always
positive.
confident.
Always about the team. Always supporting the players, the coaches,
yeah,
the managers, the referees. Oh, called third strike. He didn't even ask for a review. They may not even have one.
It's just what the Pirates bullpen does, Goon. They just shut it down.
Just lulls you to sleep and then just drops a 2-2 fastball right by you. Oh, Lord. Was going to ask you how you looking forward to the NBA or no? Nope.
I honestly, it's not that I'm even anti-NBA at this point. I just don't have any interest in it. And it's one of those things where obviously the national shows, both TV and radio, are talking about it a lot. And it's like as soon as I hear the conversation start, I turn the channel. I'm much more interested in the NHL playoffs and Major League Baseball and anything else. And it's not, I'm vaguely aware of what's going on because again, it's on everywhere. And Wembanyama is an incredible player. All of the I don't know. I just have no.
I'm just looking at this, Jeff.
No
I'm
interest
watching the history of great dunks in the playoffs, like posterized dunks, and it's like, why? It's just what they celebrate. This is the problem with the 4-letter network. Forever.
Wow,
now we're going back to Sean Kemp highlights. I mean, why are we not talking about games now? That's what gets me a little bit. They always go back to where it was great and people watched it. They're still showing Sean Kemp dunks.
But we do we being sports fans, we do like our lists. Top quarterbacks, top this, top dunks,
but during
the
NFL playoffs, there's enough going on that you don't have to say what was the best touchdown dance they had in the playoffs?
Yeah, but they will do if there's a comeback. It's like, all right, well, do you remember the greatest playoff comebacks? And they'll run down. I mean, they do it with. I hear what you're saying, but I also, they'll do great catches, great this, great that. It just.
I do. I honestly, God, I
just,
know nothing. I think that I heard today that the Cavaliers lost a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter last night.
I think 2 nights ago, but yes, it was a little brutal.
20+ point lead in the fourth.
Yeah, they went like what was it? 8 minutes plus. Not scoring. I don't know if it was not scoring or not scoring a field goal at least. And they went like 12 minutes without.
Jeez.
It was not good.
Nope.
That much I know. You want to be able to score in the final 8 minutes of any sporting event, actually.
I consider myself a sports fan. You know that. I watch sports, but I just cannot get in the NBA. And I have told you this for 10 years.
I'm not even sure why I lost to the degree that I did, a complete interest. Because I did follow it as a kid.
To the point, I got one for you here. They named the MVP on Sunday or Monday. I don't know who the hell it was. I didn't know one thing about him. Not one thing. Then it got me thinking, that had nothing, this has nothing to do with it, but I got a question for you. Pretty good one. I feel, again, you and I are very good sports people and stuff like that. Like, in multiple sports, we know where guys are from, type of thing. So the Phillies manager, Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball, where the hell is he from?
Like, where was he born?
Where was he born and raised?
No
one knows. I had to look it up. Evansville, Indiana, or Evanston, Indiana.
Is that right?
And I was like, holy crap, he just doesn't seem, Donnie Baseball just seems New York to the core to me. You know what I mean? Mr. Yankee. That's just how I remember him. I'm like, like NBA guys I know from college. I know a little bit of background, NBA players, baseball players. A little bit about me, but it was just an odd thing that Donnie Baseball was one of the most popular players in the game. But I didn't know where he was born and raised. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that it's
I would not have.
Now maybe baseball is a little different because you don't see them playing collegiately where, NFL players, you see them playing college ball and college basketball too, same thing. So maybe that's it. I don't know. But I mean, give me some names off the top of your head. I could probably give you an idea of where they're from. Donnie Baseball was the weird one. I was like, where the hell is he from? I have no idea.
Yeah, there are guys every now and then where you're like, wait, they're from
it just didn't seem.
That just does not seem like a.
But I didn't. I mean, honest to God, that's the fact that I had zero idea of where he was from. That was an odd thing to me.
Yeah, I would not have had any idea.
Tony Gwynn. A little bit of history of him where he went to college.
He was not a bad hitter.
He was amazing and a hell of a point guard too,
as it turned out.
But I mean, I just like throwing names on the top of my head from baseball players in there. He was from San Diego. Dave Winfield was from the Minnesota area. Like that era of stars, you have a little. I guess it may have been me, but I had no idea about Mattingly. None.
Yeah.
For being that big of a star, to not know what his background was. That's New York. The New York thing, I guess.
They were making fun. Completely changing topics. I'm watching a little bit of this Iowa Purdue baseball game, and it just, for whatever reason, that triggered discussion I heard on one of the radio shows, and I really don't remember what it was.
Nationally, locally.
Nationally. Okay. They were talking about the and I think it was one of the late night shows had on one of the Savannah Banana players, and they're like, why would you have that guy on when there's all these major league players? I'm like, well, first of all, the major league guys are largely busy. I get that
this time of year.
When you come into New York, you could do a New York show or an LA show, but also, and they're like, it would be like having, and they were serious. They're like, it'd be like having a Harlem Globetrotter on instead of somebody from the NBA. I'm like, well, that happens all the time. Like, I don't understand they were ripping I don't even remember now what the late night show was, but apparently one of them had on one of the, and I'm like, I don't even understand. Why would that bother you in the least?
It's entertainment.
Wait. Yeah, and those guys are good. Like I don't know, it's funny. We part of why I guess it probably rubbed me the wrong way. We were trying to. I'd like to get my kiddo to one of their games, and they're just. I went through their schedule a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, it's not going to be this summer. There are some places that I'm like, we could maybe go there, but like the timing, we have other things going on, or it's not working this summer. So we'll see if we can make it work next year, because I would like to. That just seems like a good time, and I'd like to get the Mad Turtle there to see a game. We ended up watching. We stumbled across one of their games last week and ended up watching a good bit of it. And it's great entertainment, and Globetrotters is a great comparison, but
I think baseball is a lot harder than basketball. I mean, but these guys still got to run, jump, and dunk. I get it, and shoot. But you're throwing a pitch to a guy. You're not setting where the ball's going.
Right. And the entertainment value, the skill set is for either one is still remarkable. I mean, yes, you're not a Major League Baseball player and you're not in the NBA if you're with the Globetrotters or the Bananas, but okay, you could still be in some ways even more athletic, right? Just not as good of a basketball player or a baseball player, but you could still be even more athletic and certainly more entertaining. And it was just a weird. I don't know. I've never heard anybody downplay the Globetrotter. I mean, you recognize that, yeah, they're not in the NBA, but what they do requires a very unique skill set, and they are very, very good at it, and it's fun to watch. And I've just never heard anybody complain about it. It was just weird to me to hear somebody complain because the players with the Bananas aren't good enough to be in Major League Baseball. I've just never heard that. Maybe people do. Maybe they rip on the Globetrotters too. I've just never heard it. It's like I don't even understand what the discussion point is there. As the beloved Pirates close it out,
Buccos turn
the bullpen gets it done yet again. And
amazing.
They do come back and take 2 of 3 from the Cardinals, and now make the trip to Toronto. That is not a short trip from St. Louis to Toronto for the weekend series against a very good Blue Jays team. Getting a little momentum back are the Buccos. Much needed.
After the Phillies. I had to say it. Come on, Bubba.
It's so frustrating.
Yes, it is what it is. I just, again, now I look up on TV and they're showing all the famous people at Madison Square Garden for the game. And it's just, I know, it just drives me crazy. Just drives me nuts. I'm okay with former players, personally, but, I don't know. That becomes more of the thing than I guess what happened in Philadelphia when the Knicks fans came down and bought all the tickets, for the Knicks over the Sixers and stuff like that. People were mad at the Sixers fans. I'm like, they want to come down and spend their money, let them do that, because they can't do it at their own place because they got priced out by their richer fans. So the poor man's got to go to Philadelphia to watch games, to watch their team play. So.
Well, it will be interesting to see. This will be the extent of my NBA insight.
We've talked more about the NBA today than we have in 6 years.
Which is zilch.
Total.
But I will say, if you are an NBA fan, how do the Cavaliers come back from, you're going to have, if they are able to win tonight in New York after that collapse in game 1, that is resolve the likes of which we rarely see in sports. It wouldn't shock me if they come back and win a couple in Cleveland, but with that I would be very surprised, having not followed either of these teams at all and not knowing. I still would be very surprised if a team blows a lead like that and then comes back in that arena, in their opponent's arena a couple nights later. And all right, yep, we put that behind us and here we go. And the other part of it is you figure the Knicks are just going to come out
sky high
like a ball of fire tonight and be
I can't wait for it.
We'll be locked in. Game starts
I'm
a little after 8 o'clock.
Speaking of locked in, I got Netflix this week.
Yeah.
The Long Island serial killer, the Go-Go Beach.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of that?
No.
You know what I'm talking about at all?
Nope.
Oof. There's some documentaries that we had watched 10, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, but they never found this murderer guy. It was a part of Long Island, Montauk, but like Massapequa, I think. One of them. That they found 4 bodies in the marsh. And then for years they had no idea. They figured out who it was. They figured out who they were, and this and that. And then for years it was just a stale, dead, cold case and stuff like that. They started finding more bodies, and it's pretty damn unbelievable. So I was watching that years ago before, but now they have actually figured out who it was, and they caught the guy within the last couple of years. So he's still awaiting trial and stuff like that. So that's where it's at. So I got through one episode last night, and my mouth was like down in my belly, like, holy crap. Like how long this went without even like, now I know it's set up like a TV show. They set you up and like the guy's driving a certain car and they can figure out what town he's in. And I'm not a private investigator or anything, but if I could figure out the car and an address of somebody who has that car, I would go look into that person. And it just seems to take way too long for that. So, but that's just me. But there is 4 parts to it. We got through 1 last night.
Well, I did see the related, but on the local front, the judge ruling that they are not going to release additional info on the Dana Bailey case here locally, which she was a Penn State student who was
in the mid-'80s
stabbed to death, late 80s. Yeah, I think 87.
What do you mean they're not going to release anything?
She was stabbed to death over spring break, and they
downtown.
The judge ruled that in her apartment down on South Allen Street. But yeah, they're not releasing information on it because the judge feels it would put the case in peril, which means I do wonder with some of those cases, like, can they, how far back can you try to piece together DNA or so? I mean, some of the,
well, they kept it. That's how this Gilgo Beach thing. they had.
Yeah. And so
they were sort of waiting for the DNA to catch up.
If they
have some DNA, you think, and they have to,
or have something that they want to. I mean, obviously they do have something.
They have something, but they're not releasing any information.
Correct. The judge said that he's a.
They actually have a lead. Then I think that's what you're saying.
I don't. That I don't know. That was not.
What's he not releasing then?
The autopsy results and the information with it. There was a request.
Not public knowledge?
No, and there was a request to make it public, and the judge said no. There's compelling reasons that it would potentially put in jeopardy the investigation. Just
look that up.
Very interesting.
Oh. There's the archway in St. Louis.
There is the archway.
Guess where that was fabricated? Warren, Pennsylvania.
There you go.
But you didn't know that, did you?
Beautiful.
You didn't know that?
I like that arch a lot more today than I did just a couple of nights ago.
There you go.
I'll say that.
Sure. Well, you have a good weekend, Ironhead.
Well, we are going to try. Lots of...
I'm sure you got enough going on.
Lots of track and field and baseball. We have actually a graduation and high school graduation in the family. So
stay warm.
Be heading to that. That is going to be the attempt. Staying warm and staying dry.
47
after a couple of days
of
up near 90.
Holy crap.
We are we are just completely skipping the 60s and 70s, the sweet spot, if you will. Folks, we do hope you have a great weekend. Goon and I will be back on Tuesday with yet another edition of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead Show. Until then, be good and be safe.
You look a bit nervous, eh?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, Coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox State.